Welcome back. Now in this video, we'll learn about a new tool named as Fuzzy Match. Fuzzy Match is a very interesting tool. It can save lot of time. Okay, now what exactly is Fuzzy Match? Now let me show you an example with the data set. Now I have two tables. The name of the file is Fuzzy Match. Name of the sheet is database. There are two tables, transactional table and the master table. Master table contains information which is exactly correct. Okay, it's exactly correct information, no different things here. Now what happens is this data set which I get in the company, okay, some people enter the Wolfman company, the Wolfman CO, Wolfman LLC, okay, they keep on entering different names. Or some people enter Coca-Cola Department of Revenue, but actually it is Coca-Cola DEPT of Revenue, okay. So if you see, this is the original name, some people write it in this format. So what I want to do is, this data which is not matching, if you observe, these three are different inputs given by different users, and this is a transactional table. People keep on adding this data. Now when I create a visualization, or if I want to do an analysis, I cannot do by these three different names. I have to bring them and tell them this all belongs to Wolfman company. Same way, if you observe, there are different examples as well. So you can see there's this Candlewick Research Department, and here it is Candlewick Research. So these are the original names which I want the data should be visible here. So how do I replace? If it is one or two, I can do it manually. But imagine if there are thousands and thousands and millions of data set, and it becomes challenging for me to do it manually. Now because we are in the training, I have kept very small data just to quickly understand. But in the company, if you have huge data set, no problem. You can pick up as big data as much as possible, no problem. So first thing, what are the things you should remember? Okay, in this case, create a column name as industry name, and the same column name should be given here as industry name. Okay, there should not be extra space, no uppercase, lowercase, just keep the name same. Okay, remember the column name should be same. That's first condition. Second condition, you create a source column in both the tables, again with the same heading, and that will have a name which is unique to the first table, let's say transaction table, and this will have master table. Instead of transactional table, you can write anything, let's say ABCD, but that ABCD should be in every cell. Okay, or if you want, you can write as only A, here you write as only B, not a problem. So but what I have written, lengthy name transaction table, so you understand that this data belongs to transactional table, this data belongs to master table. That's the reason I have written lengthy name, but you can write anything. So that should be same in this column and same in the other column. Now what we can do is, we can just give the name to this data set. It's already given, it's a transitional table, and here this one is nothing but your master table. You see, master table and transitional table. Now because we are in a training right now, I have kept the data in the same sheet so that you can understand properly. But in real time, the data can be kept into two different sheets, two different Excel files, or two different data sources, anywhere. So what we can do is, first thing, let's bring this both data inside Alteryx. So I can close the file, open Alteryx here. I'll just click on this input data option here, and I can click on files, select a file, and I can pick up here, let's say Fuzzy Match. The first data set I'll bring here as master table, click on OK. I can just right click and copy. So I can bring the other data set here, Control V, and I can change, instead of master table, I can click here and select transitional table, click on OK. So let me also give a good name. I can just go here and I can write as master table. I can click on the second one and I can write as transitional table, right? So both data sets have come into Alteryx. I can just click on run button. So the first master table contains 8 records and 3 columns. Okay, 3 columns and 8 records. When I click on the output anchor, if I click on the output anchor of transactional table, I'll get 16 records and 4 columns. Remember, the column name, industry name, and the source should be common in both the tables. Okay, so industry name spelling should be exactly same, no uppercase, no lowercase, not an even extra space is allowed. Now next is, you need to first join these two tables into one. Okay, you need to just append one below the other, that's union. So bring those two tables, that is union, connect those. Okay, so you remember the first table had 8 records, second table if I click, it's having 16 records. So 16 plus 8 I should get as 24 records. When I click on run button, you can see 24 records have been displayed. So now if you observe here, in the source column, both the tables are appended. First master table, second is a transitional table. Okay, these are two tables combined together. Now what I want is, from the master table, I want to combine Coca-Cola Department of Revenue, not combine, I want to compare Coca-Cola Department of Revenue with Coca-Cola, this one, entire Department of Revenue. So I want to combine, or I want to compare both of them. So now what should we do? To do this activity, we need a fuzzy match. Drag and drop this fuzzy match into this canvas here. Now in this fuzzy match, few things you have to remember. First thing, I need to merge only records from a different data source are compared. You see, only records from a different data source are compared. So from source ID field, I can select this option as industry name from top, and record ID field, I can select the option as industry name. So both the places you need to select the industry name as a common column, and then matching the columns would be again industry name. Okay, we are comparing from source ID and the record ID industry name. And what I can do is, here the matching style, I'll select that it's a company name. Okay, so industry name which is given, it's actually a company name. So sometimes you also might get an address as well. Okay, so address. So one of the participants asked me, like, why should we select address? Because in address there are some common keywords. It's normally common everywhere. For example, we have flat number, room number, apartment number, or APT, or floor FLR. So these are some keywords which are common. So Alteryx is capable of understanding those keywords. Okay, so now in this case, industry name. Now what are the things in the industry name? We have, let's say, private limited, or PVT Ltd, or we have INC incorporated, or we have LLC. So these are some terms, some keywords which are common in the company name. So Alteryx is smart enough to understand those keywords. So in this case, I'll select the option as company name. Now what I can do is, I can just click on run button here. When I click on run button, carefully observe, I am getting 40 records. So here industry name I selected, and it belongs to a company name. Sometimes you might select address, so this options you can change. Now carefully observe, in the output anchor, when I click here, I am getting the data as industry name and industry name 2. Now if you observe, Wolfman CO is matching with all the keywords which were related to Wolfman CO. Same way, Coca-Cola Department of Revenue is matching with Coca-Cola DPT of Revenue. So all the permutation combinations it has applied and given the output. It is only matching with the relevant data. If you also observe, not any data, only relevant data. But if you observe, there are 40 records. Okay, and some places you might find duplicates as well. Okay, duplicate in the sense, if I show you an example, this one if you see, and the other one, these are some duplicate records which are visible here. So you know how to remove the duplicates. If you remember, in the preparation tab, we used a field named as unique. Drag this unique and drop it here. When you click on this run button, and on the left hand side, we forgot to select this select all button. So I'm selecting all the columns, and I can click on run button. So when I click on unique option, out of 40 records, now just 13 records are displayed, and I do not have a duplicate for this particular option here. So now it becomes very easy for me to match and pick up that data set. And if you observe, we have Coca-Cola Department of Revenue. It is matching with Coca-Cola DPT of Revenue. So wherever possible, you can pick up those calculations and find out the unique data sets. Okay. And if you click on D option, these are some duplicates. Unique stands for U. So this is how you can get the output related to fuzzy match. Now this only solves 80% of work. It doesn't solve 100% of your work. So remember, even if you get the results, you need to manually check one more time. Okay, manually check it, then get the output here. So why? Because there are some words which are small and it can be matched. For example, SBI can be matched with RBI. Okay, SBI is a bank in India, State Bank of India, and RBI is a Reserve Bank of India. So if you take the abbreviation of both the names, RBI, SBI, it might give the same answers. So remember, you need to be careful when you're using this fuzzy match. It doesn't give you 100% answers, 80% you can expect. So I can just save this file, Control S, I can write as S6, that's for the joins, and we have seen how to work on fuzzy match. Done. Great. So I hope you have understood how to work on this fuzzy match tool inside Alteryx, and that's all for this video.